Okay, I think we're good. I think we're all set up. I think we got everything going here. Except for some reason, I don't know why. All my text I had made just doesn't decide to work, so I'll be adding that in as we go. Um, yeah, every single text element for some reason just died. I don't understand what's going on there. But anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in. Hopefully you're all having a great night and a great start to week. It is a Monday, sadly, but we are here with the Overwatch Clash. Season 6 quarterfinals matches between the Quails and the Foxians, as well as the Slouchers and the Froggess. When it comes to kind of the main game, I suppose, is going to be the Slouchers on the main here. We have Plimbo Schlimbo in the lobby over the Quails and the Foxians. So, yeah, this should be pretty exciting. For some reason, no text is working at all when it comes to Streamlabs OBS. I don't know why, but I guess it just decided not to work. So I'll have to find out another solution. Anyway, of course, if you haven't already, use the QR codes over on the side there for Season 6 voting, All-Stars MVP, as well as Hall of Fame, and admins for first year. So make sure you use all those QR codes to your advantage as we are getting ready to go here. Prod is always R, by the way. Okay. Let these teams know that Prod is R always. All right. Everybody's aware of what's going on now, so looking at it here for the first game, here's the first maps have been selected. For the Quails, it is going to go the way of Nepal, and as for Slouchers, going over onto Antarctic Peninsula. So, pretty different looks for both these teams here, of course. Having the higher seed advantage of being able to pick your map that you want to play, always kind of a big deal, especially in this kind of situations in the playoffs. Could kind of decide, a win or a loss. This whole Streamlabs thing is really pissing me off. I wonder if I go to another scene, text will work. Like, what if I go here and I just add... Is it the font? Is that the problem, maybe? Doesn't appear to be the way. Well, hold on now. What is going on? Why does it like that? What the what? Oh, what? I don't get it. Well, anyway, I guess we're using Arial fonts today. We're getting spicy with it. It's the best we're gonna get. Can't use our normal big noodle tilting, unfortunately. Of course, looks like teams are getting prepped and set here for our first match action, and there we go. We're getting things back. Again, this font has never let me down before, but for some reason today it just decided not to work. Was working literally an hour ago before I got in here. See, this is where we need Subway servers, chat. This is where we need something to distract us from the pain and misery that is waiting in lobby for games to begin. We need our jacks. So apparently the Foxians are doing their normal Foxian thing where they take 85 years to start the lobby, whereas the Slouchers and the Froggess, not exactly sure what's going on there. Okay, we're waiting on Cupcake. Isn't here by 9:15. It's currently 9:12. So, wouldn't be a Boon ESPN overtime without any Overwatch actually being played in the first, God forbid, 35 minutes. Maybe we can find some Subway servers or something on the side. I mean, I can't close what we currently have open because it would mess up the Discord capture. So you have to live with the Family Guy funny moments on my phone through the webcam, and hopefully it's enjoyable. This video is, can you handle 30 minutes of Family Guy funny moments? I don't think I can, chat. There we go. Now Peter is looking at the, oh my. That was probably very funny if he actually knew what was going on. Okay, Peter getting beat up in front of the limousine, got the bag over his head. Oh my god. That's crazy. Well, it's Carter Pewterschmidt. It's his father-in-law in the limousine that beat Peter up. Now they're beating him up again in the other side of the limousine. Oh my goodness gracious. I couldn't handle the 30 minutes of filming at Fanny Moments. I could only do 37 seconds before losing my damn mind. So I guess in the meantime, chat, while we're waiting here and sitting, you can use the QR codes over to my right, or I guess technically, I mean the right for your screen, but my left over here, to get your voting in if you haven't done so already. Of course, it kind of started off very recently. Okay, we are actually finally going into a game. It's going to be the Foxians, and the quiz is going to start off. So while we're waiting for Cupcake to get involved here, we can go ahead and go into the focus cam, if you want to call it that, for the Foxians game. And yeah, starting off over onto Nepal. Of course, the substitution here for the Foxians is going to be Cold Beer in for Akua. We don't have audio for this game because it is a stream from Discord, from my laptop, about as ghetto as you can possibly imagine, but we're making it happen. Great frame rate. But it looks like the Foxians are going to be running on this Mauga look of all things. Kind of a new look for them here. We haven't been seeing too much Mauga before the playoffs, but it is quite the change with his recent buffs to his run ability, of course. A viable solution. And now, of course, right as we go into this game, the Cupcake has returned here for the Frogess. So we're going to go into the quad box here to discuss everything going on. I do apologize for the frame rate. The second Spoonie account doesn't have Nitro, so we don't get the 60 FPS streaming, unfortunately. So to make do with what we're seeing here, I'll give the guys some different POVs, hopefully throughout the fight. But looking at Foxians, looking for the first control. But Quails, of course, with the new addition of Neptune, trying to put some work in. HV Sec over on towards the Reaper, getting some pressure put onto him. And yeah, going to take that Reaper all the way first. So Quails, once again, starting off hot in this fight here. Dyer on the Mauga, going to get blasted down almost immediately by the side of the Quails. And yeah, they will be capturing the first point here for the side of the Quails. And no real, problems with that one. In fact, staying alive through most of it. Now back over onto this game, back over in the Frogess game. We're going to have Nuttier Tank for the first map. No look for Cupcake here. Still not here. Mythical Duck going over onto her Widowmaker. No Genji or anything here. Just, of course, not limited in the DPS pool, I believe, as she would be over on towards a tank role. But Fish is taking a decent amount of pop shot damage here. Nutter over on the Reinhardt, trying to create some space for a team, but AC Design, spotting at the Widowmaker, begins to retreat. Go back to the quad box here so you can see what's going on, and it looks like the HV Sec Reaper finds some kills for the side of the Foxians here, but Point still in control of the Quails. Does flip here to Foxians just 7 or so seconds away, but Mythical Duck back on the other game, Froggers and Slouchers gets the pick over on the Brigitte. Great start here for the Froggers, early Suzu up in Para, but they have space control here. Fish trying to recontest it. They find the Kiriko. HG Design falling weak, but in fact, it's going to be the Slouchers taking these picks here. Still very even as Mythical Duck lights up the kill feed once again of the DPS as Dante Fanfan kills one as well. Nutter swapped over onto the Roadhog. Interesting maneuver here. Get a new POV. We'll look at the Reaper over on towards the point here for the Frogess. Suzu in from power. Look at the Reaper alive. And Dante Fanfan finds another one, but it is Sky with an early high noon trying to survive. Doesn't get off in time as Dante Fanfan clean up that point for now. The recent return here from Fish. No more Ramatra. No more Reinhardt. As still the point has to flip for either side. Para, Casino Rush on the point. Will force Fish into Aquason. No more Jasmine. No more cooldowns. No more life over on towards the point. Charge on returning for her victorious side, and Mythical Duck continues to light up on the Widowmaker. Now, back over on the Quails and the Foxian side. Still very even point right now, 46% to 48%. Quails have an advantage, but they have the ultimates as well. Using the Orbit Array, investing in that Annihilation and that Blizzard. We're going to the Quails stabilizing it on the point, but Foxians are going to have the duplicate here from Coldbeer for his next real engagement, as nothing for the Quails is ready to be used. Back over on the Froggers and Slouchers match with Dante Fanfan setting up above enemy lines here with a Death Blossom ready to lay it on in. Looking to drop in. The hook is going to land, but Dante Fanfans, and will find the wrong side of a bullet there. Will go down 7, closer over to Ray. Gonna exchange DPS here as H-Design now out of the engagement. Mythical Duck still having good sightlines here, and now no Genji as well to put pressure over onto her on the Widowmaker. The over to Ray has to come and keep Fish alive here. Fish falling very low, but the beat for Chartron in for the response. Support almost for Sportma here, but Nudier getting isolated. Mythical Duck finds an opening kill run towards Sky. No Cassidy here. Definitely Dante Fanfan returning to the fray with the Death Blossom, and still the DPS line of the Frog is coming alive here. Chartron will find the wrong end of a Terror Surge, but that will just be the only kill the Soldiers get here as the Frog is continue to hold his point 60% and counting. Over onto the Quails game. Still back and forth affair at 99% for the Quails. Last fight territory as it appears Jack died mid-cast of the Overrare. Still has it. Trying to get back to the team. Might have fallen early. Another great blizzard here from Rule. But right now, still, Dyer on the point on this Malga is staying alive. Not letting Anthony go through. The Overrate finally coming out for Jack. His Overrate's arching on both sides. A lot of sustain here. Got me favor the Malga in his cage. Skyster stuck in with this giant burly man. But in fact, Dyer is the one losing it on the life here. But HP Suck returns. Exchange out with Death Blossom here for his own life. 1-for-1. But Colbeer opens up, but they don't touch the point. They C9. The Foxians lose the first point. The Quails take a slight advantage here. Back over on the Froggers and the Soldiers game. The point did flip in the cast. 95% here. AC-Sign still having the blade. The Flame Tempo did have to invest in that rally to flip this one over. Para still having a good rush for the recontest should they decide to opt into this one. But, I mean, maybe you're seeing for more of a sustained ultimate because you have Nudier, who has a lot of sustain on the Roadhog with his vape. And really, Mythical Duck can't take too much advantage of that. But AC-Sign is hunting for his Widowmaker right now in the back line. Mythical Duck giving away her position with that shot. The grapple not quite there. AC-Sign finds that kill, but here comes a TP Suzu over onto the Widowmaker. Papara can't keep him alive, and now with Mythical Duck down, Soldier continue to hold on this point. Back over onto the Slouchers and the Quails, or the Quails and the Foxians. We're going to have over onto Nepal Village. No swaps for either side, sticking with what they were playing in the first round. But with how close that first round was, definitely a changeable map here for the Fox. And Malcolm charge in for Dyer, but the wall from Rue will block off that charge on in. Neptune falling low because he healed up here from Sakana, but while distracted, trying to keep up that spar, we're going to lose the tank for Skyster, and the Quails will probably get first point here. As AC-Sign again over on towards Mythical Duck on to this Widowmaker. AC-Sign cleans up the kill with 2 quick ones as Para using the Casino Rush. Dante Fanfan tries to follow up with that Reaper ultimate, but the Death Blossom finds nothing. And now, last fight territory for both sides here. 7 has the Juno ultimate. Overray ready to go, and nothing in the bank for the Frogez as they are just completely drained. Dante Fanfan swaps to the Tracer for last contest potentially as AC-Sign is still pushing Spawn here, looking to get these kills. We get a little bit of a POB over on Charvatron here to go back to the Foxians and the Quails match over onto Nepal Village. 20% and counting now for the Foxians. No ultimates for either side already to speak about. Neptune fairly close, but Colbert shuts that down. The Farah shot out of the sky by the Ringer. And yeah, with Skyster down as well, probably going to be a control point here for the side of the Foxians, but instead, they're getting the picks right back. Rue and Saikana light up Colbert. Now Rue lights up the kill feed with multiple kills. Dyer has a turn to the fray. No longer chasing, and now we do have the Slouchers taking the first point back into Frog in the Slouchers match. Despite being down 95-0, flip that back move over her sweep action over on Koth. Now, back over onto the Slouchers and the Fox and the Quails match. We have the Quails flipping it back, despite losing a couple early picks there. The Foxes getting a little too aggressive there, a little too aggro. Going to lose out on their lives and lose out on that point presence, allowing Skystar to come back and flip that over for the Quails. They're going to have Saikana's over to right here for his next engagement, but Colbert has the high noon to create some space for the team. Jack, 50% towards their over to Ray, could look to do something with it, but Saikana, big advantage here, should decide to take it now. They're going with the speed ring, still holding on to the over to Ray, but they're going to get the Blizzard. It's a nice one. Isolates over on towards War, and Colbert stuck in the corner, and the Quails are going to take that fight and will equalize percentage on the point at around 46%. Back over on the Slouchers and the Frogges match, we're going to have back over on to the submarine level, but Sky lights things up. A first pick here over on towards Dante Fanfan, but can't land the shots on the Mythical Duck. Mythical Duck forced to recall, though, back into the sightlines of this Cassidy as Sky trying to find the pick over on the DPS, but Para, in fact, trying to light things up still. They lose Nudier and Fish in the process. Tanks are exchanged. Para there to try to keep him alive, but Ace Design comes in and finding multiple kills with the dash resets. That will be the Slouchers taking this first control of Submarine and hoping to take our map in a 2-0 fashion. Back over onto the other game. Dyer using that cage, but all it does is locks, annihilating Skycer in with the Mauga. And with Dyer just getting shredded in his own cage, they use High Noon over to Ray. Death Blossom and cage and can't flip the point. Now, Saikana has the over to Ray for his last engagement. And honestly, that might just be enough for the side of the Slouchers to take, or for the Quails to take our first map of Nepal. Back and forth here. Speaking of the Slouchers still having control of this map, but Nuttier, high charge, walking down the enemy line, trying to melt down Fish in the Orisa fortify form, but Sky has a High Noon 2% away, ready to pop that at a moment's notice. We'll do just a second that they get it, try and find a skull, but the wall will ice multiple members, but the bubble, not enough to save the rest of his team as Nuttier will fall. The Slouchers maintain control as Sky lights it up with 2 headshot kills along with the High Noon, and the Quails, back over the Quails Foxes game, will take the first map of Nepal, looking very good on this Ramatra Brawl. Of course, going up against, a Ringers team with the Foxes down Akua, having to use Colbeer in spot of that one. The pulse point is going to stick on his Sky. That's a nice one from Mythical Duck from way downtown. Lights on up, look like Caitlin Clark out here. Walking down Fisher, has a fortified, trying to stay alive for a couple seconds here. But here comes the blade from AST Design, finding Charbatron. Para has the Casino Rush over on towards the point, but can't do too much with that one. The point did flip in the chaos, but not nearly enough. Of course, with this being said, we can go back over onto our focus mode and take a look at just this game until the other one gets back into a map. I mean, they do exchange out to 7, so 7 will be late to this last engagement here. They have Blizzard. You're going to have Graviton Surge from Nuttier and Dante Fanfan. Chartron close to a beat here. The Graviton Surge locks down the Brigitte, but Flamajambo having the rally to sustain through all that. Big Suzu comes in. The Terror Surge is still here from Fish, trying to stave off any support. But Flamajambo and Power Arcade 1-for-1 over on towards the support. AC Sign getting the resets on these dashes will eventually get melted down by Nuttier. But Sky there for the right click to follow up that javelin from Fish. The beat from Chartron is just for 2 people. The Lucio, the Pulse One here from Mythical Duck, forced to recall here. The Pulse One finding nothing but air. And right now, the Venus Slouchers look to take our first map 2-0, and that will be just the case and points. We are going to have last second contest here from Dante Fanfan on the Sombra. Looks like Mythical Duck might get in for a bit of a TP, but Flambo Jambo playing the bouncer, not allowing her towards that point. And that will be a 2-0 for the Slouchers on our first map of Antarctica Peninsula. Both of the higher seeds taking their control point selections in this series and off to a great start. Now, go ahead and update the scores as well. We do have to mention that, of course, that was the Frogess down Cupcake, but they make it competitive on the first one, but not so much that second point. Very much in control of Slovenia Slouchers. Same thing with the Quails. First point kind of back and forth on Nepal Village, or sorry, the second point Nepal Village back and forth, but really nothing for either of these lower seeds going forward. So a fortunate start for our underdogs, but of course long series ahead for both these teams, and I should say all 4 of these teams. We're just going to start finishing the first 2 maps of our quarterfinals, and we'll see. Interesting to see where the teams decide to take us here. Of course, I just came from a land last weekend where there was a set map order, but in these kind of situations where the maps are completely wide open, you can definitely play to your strengths. With the Foxes, do you kind of lean in to, the Colbeer DPS with him being on the ringer, or do you go where you want to go, and play more of that? But the thing is, as well, you have Dyer on the Malga, which we haven't seen much of. The map choice of the Foxians is going to be Hollywood here, which definitely plays more into that kind of, long-range DPS, I suppose, of Colbeer on the Widowmaker, the Ash on that high ground over on towards B especially, and maybe, closer quarters on point A for that Malga to really work out. But we haven't seen the Falcons play a lot of Malga so far this year, and the problem is, teams kind of saying that Malga might just be the meta going forward right now, but there's not a lot of practice these teams really have. Akua has joined, though, the Foxens and Quails game. I don't know if he's actually playing, but in terms of the other match, the Slouchers and the Frogges, we're going to have the map over on to Havana, which they're definitely just going for the double sniper look, just waiting for Cupcake, I suppose, to get here, then putting Cupcake and Chloe on that double armor and hit scan. Could be a very large combination for them, especially, but HD Design not one to be slept on this Widowmaker look if they would decide to go there. We are still waiting for both these games, of course, to enter our map 2. If you are just joining us, we do appreciate it. Joining in on the Boon ESPN Overtime Quarterfinals edition. If you haven't, of course, off to my Off to my left and your right is going to be the Aurora Season 6 voting form QR codes. Make sure to scan those in. Important ones especially going to be the admins and the Hall of Fame. Those two on your screen right now. Admins, of course, deciding the future of this league, and Hall of Fame, of course, celebrating the past of the league. So make sure your voices are heard and become true patriots and truly get in there. Now they are trying to discuss, actually, Akua is here. It looks like Cold Beer might have left. So yeah, we are actually going to have Akua coming in permanently for the Foxians, which, with how good they kind of looked with Coldbeater on the ringer, you put Akua back in, and this team gets a lot scarier for the Quails going forward in our next couple of maps. Both games still just kind of chilling here. Okay, we're still waiting for Cupcake to get online for the Frogess. Gotta love that. I mean, this is kind of the absolute problem children of running lobbies, right? You got Cupcake on the Frogess, who is always just late or just doesn't show up. And then you got the Foxians taking 25 minutes between each map every single game they play. So absolutely making me have to yap to nobody for solid 5-10 minutes between every single game. I was kind of hoping we'd get, a little more fight between one of the teams so I could kind of cast that while we're waiting for the other maps. But looks like Hollywood has finally been selected in the other game, and with Akua here, we should be getting in fairly soonish, I would hope. Yeah, an Escort versus a Hybrid. The Fox is taking us to those default map pools, map rotations with the Koth, Hybrid, Escort, whatever map 4 should be pushed. I don't know. There's too many map pools. There's too many map types now, so you can't do the standard, 5-way rotation. The teams are going to swap sides here, however. Fox is opting in to, or actually the Quails opting to attack first, which is definitely interesting. We see a lot of teams usually, try to get that defense first and to set themselves a win condition. Now, Rue, thank you for the less than 4. Always appreciated. But, okay, now we do have one game going in here, which is going to be the Quails and the Foxins going into our second map of Hollywood. We are still waiting for Cupcake for the Froggas. I did see him kind of pop online for a second in the other match, but okay, yeah, Cupcake has arrived, but we shall see how long it takes him to get actually in the lobby with it. So hopefully a little bit longer, so we can talk a little more about the Quiz and Foxes match. Of course, not our main focus here on my PC, but instead off to the side on the Plimbo Schlimbo account. Look at that production. I can only I'm producing on a slight delay from not only a Discord stream, but also from my Streamlabs OBS. Which has an input, delay of like 3 or 4 seconds. So I'm running into a lot of walls. I'm not looking at the screen whatsoever. This is surely going to go well. Let's see. We'll use a trackpad to go in between this door. I hit the space bar. And we're stuck in a corner. Okay, we're not. Okay, do a little bit of. Let's get ourselves aimed right. And then we fire in like a torpedo. Look at that. And now we are on point A, which is pretty good. And look at that. We got to where we needed to go inside the tree without even having to take a look. But now we can actually go into the focus mode here because we are seeing a game actually getting played out. Little too large. Now a little too small. Whatever, that's good enough. Going over onto this point, we're going to Skyster over on towards this dive. His signature kind of Winston hero, ready to go in over on towards this point, but right now flying very critical. Taking a lot of packs here from Paradox, trying to stay alive, trying to boop Dyer off the high ground. Bakua on the Tracer, looking to feast and famine on this backline with only the Widowmaker for support. Neptune falling low, going to get healed right back up though by Saikana and Paradox. Still, just a very slow approach here from the dive, trying to find the positions to get ready to go in, but Akua just being annoying on this Tracer, not allowing them to get in very far. Skyster forced away as well. Did get in for the dive, but just too much peel. But Neptune opened things up with a kill over on Jack and Harcher. 2 for the Widowmaker down main. Forget Neptune for 1 second. He lights things up with 2 quick ones. And that will be point A, most likely going the way of the Quails here. Very efficient use of their time. And, they played that really slowly, but it just the slow rotation forced them to get into Neptune's sightlines on this Widowmaker. And eventually they clean up with this kill. Now, we can go back over onto our 4-box as we are getting ready, of course, on Shambhala Monastery. A bit of a swap here in terms of maps. No longer going towards that Havana, but instead playing with Mythical Duck on the tank rather than potentially a double hit scan look. Under her constant nature, Ramattra for when they want to win. I suppose Neptune on the other feed, I just saw it, is a murdered Hardchar once again. The Soldier having a rough time there for the side of the Foxians, but back over onto our main game here. HT Design back on that Genji, but is slow in from Mythical Duck. Walks him on down. Cupcake begins to mark him on down, finding Frosty, but they do lose out on the Para in the process. The picks are here, but the spawns are closer. A big Suzu from 7 keeps him alive through that pressure from Cupcake on his high ground. Nigh unstoppable, but you're looking at the ult charge for both Ashes, still very close between both of them, only 5% difference. So, you know, Sky was putting some damage probably over on towards Mythical Duck onto Chloe, but high ground control, trying to get claimed here. But AC Design kind of stuck in a small room with their Mantra, but in fact just win that 1v1 out with the assistance of the squad. And now, Mythical Duck falling very low here, trying to survive, but Fish continues to move forward on the Sarisa, and initially opens things up for kills, finally coming for the side of the Sachas, just walking down the Frog is forcing them back on this high ground. The Suzu is forced out early here, and now Mythical Duck kind of stuck in an awkward position, has Nemesis form to stay alive and try to beat people down, but the picks are still here for the side of the Slouchers, and they will probably be taking point A unless a miracle happens from these DPS. Cupcake can do something, potentially charge run, trying to get back on the Lucio. But looking back over at the other game, the Foxes actually taking a pretty good staunch defense here as Dyer swaps over onto the Winston, finding multiple kills. Neptune trying to get one for the retreat, but not going to happen. 7 with a 1% advantage on this Kasuna Rush. Both these teams using this Kasuna Rush for building a damn city with all these streets being laid down. Sky using the Bob in the backline here, trying to force him off of this. We do have a support combat in the back, but HT Design, in fact, is going to take away that honorable duel between 7 and Charbatron. HT Design lights up the kill feed on this Genji and builds towards that blade. And now, back over on the Foxes and the Quails match. The cart continues to push past the county jail for the Quails, but still, Jack with the overhead array, keeping the Foxes well and healed through his fight. And Neptune down Akua, find the opening pick over on his opposite number of the Tracer. Ibisek keeping up on his high ground, doesn't Death Blossom, but has the shotguns to kill the enemy. Skyster 40% away from this Primal Raid, but probably going to hold on to that one here for this next engagement as the Foxes once again continue this hold. Back onto our other match here, we have Dante Fanfan swapping over on the Venture, but gets sent back to spawn real quick as Sky and 7 kill both DPS for the Frogez, and Chartron still having this beat, just having to amp away for now. Sky does go to Coach Guns into an Ash, or should I say Coach Guns into a Ramatra. Not the best look for them. Fortify used earlier here from Sky, or from Fish, has Terror Surge. Chartron has his beat, cannot fall here. The Terror Surge is there, and they lock down the Lucio, and now Mythical Duck stuck behind enemy lines with no supports. Not looking good for them. Back on the Foxes and Quails, Hardchar coming back with the Death Blossom ready to go on the point, but Akua once again continues to put the team on his back, showing why they needed this player here for the playoff push. Paradox will have the rally for next fight, but they got worked through the Death Blossom of Hardchar. Back over onto the Frogs and the Slaughter's game, beats from Charbatron to push the team back and sustain themselves through the pressure. No ultimates for the side of the Slaughter's, but just overall aggression. Mythical Duck in the backline, falling critical. Cannot get the support of Para and Charbatron out of the line of sight. They get Frosty, but they've lost their tank in the process. And now AC Design comes in with the blade, finds Cupcake, finds Para as well. 2 for the blade from AC Design on Mythical Duck. Sadly, going way too aggressive there for her team to follow her up. And point 2 will be captured by the Sweden Slouchers. And now for the side of the Foxes, they're going to have the blade from Cry trying to open things up for the team. But Dyer on the Winston, finding the picks they need to just live for as long as they possibly can. The Winstons are here, but Akua back for the, a little bit of help for the team. Should Dyer need to pop this Primal Rage, it would be a huge win, but doesn't have to use it. Holds on to it at 1 HP. As Akua is there for the peel for the Winston to keep him alive, and now with 31 seconds left in the time bank, no ultimates here for the Quails, except Skyster's Primal Rage coming up, but walking into a Pulse Bomb. Dyer have their own Primal Rage, and Jax over to Ray. Will be very tough for the Quails to take that one home. Now, back over on the Soldiers game versus the Frogez. A lot of ults being used here, but coming out on top will be the Frogs, it appears, with Mythical Duck using Annihilation to kind of stave off any follow-up from Fish, using that Terror Surge, and now AC Design just staggering out a little bit on towards point. But a lot of ults used for both these teams, using the Overray and the Casino Rush here from the Slouchers not what you want to see, and Bob and Terra Surge, a kind of an all-dump fight that they end up just losing to the pure mechanical skill of Cupcake on the Widowmaker and Mythical Duck with the Annihilation. Back onto the Quails and Foxians game. So despite the ultimate advantage here, it appears the Quails are taking this fight over the Foxians right now. And I mean, Dire will find one over onto Paradox, but the kills are coming fast and heavy for our heroes in feathers, and still very back and forth. Hard chart 15% away. Dire once again coming up huge for the team on the Winston pick. Back on our main game, AC Zion using this blade, looking for pressure onto the backline, but the Mythical Duck forcing away with Gnosis form right now. Para using the Casino Rush lets the team push forward. Fish forced to use the Fortify very early in this fight. Isuzu is forced here from Para, so no real more aggressive push coming through. And apparently the Foxians end up losing that other game as well. Dire with that huge pick brings it back. Probably hard chart. Death Blossom didn't quite see what happened there, but just barely under 2 points for the Quails on Hollywood. Mythical Duck find AC is on a great start as Cupcake using the sights over on towards this point. Looking to put some pressure down on any potential stragglers. This Fish is just alone, but has a spin, has the cooldowns to stay alive. And Sky proves a sniper differential with the charge on the Sojourn. Takes Cupcake out of the fray, and now Sightline's completely free here. A TP and a Suzu out from Power, but Fish sees that and engages very heavily. Mythical Duck trying to stave off the aggression with this Annihilation. The use beat as well from Charvatron. A lot of ults being used. Terra Surge out from Fish, trying to bring back Sky with the overclock. And maybe the later ultimates might be proving to be the better ones here from the Slouchers, but Dante Fanfan using that, I guess using that bench ultimate to try to save Moth, to say, give us 1 second to breathe here as HT Design will go down. The picks are here for both sides, but the spawns are much better for the side of the Frogus. Chartron back over on towards the Lucio. Falling very low. Cupcake on the Widowmaker. Cannot touch the card as Sky lights them up once again on the Soj. And my goodness, despite a lot of ults being dumped there for both these teams, that will be the Slouchers taking all 3 points of Shimbali Monastery. Esports of Altitude Esports. It's been a while. Yeah, I remember Altitude Esports. It's oof. Makes me feel old looking back on those days. Anyway, back over onto the Quails and Foxes game. We can give it a bit of focus here while we're waiting for the other game to get back into the action. It appears we got the Quails probably taking this first fight on point A. It is, of course, still only 30 seconds left, or 30 seconds away in the time bank, as Dire jumps on into a Dire situation and gets it melted almost immediately as the Quails begin their hold on the defense here. Looking a little better on the defense already than the Foxons did on their side, but you know, Foxons have a great spot. Only got to get about halfway towards point B to take a map and tie us up in the series. Still, very possible hold coming through for the side of the Quails. We have the jump in from Dire still volume very low. Akua is 1 HP as well, as there's just so much pressure coming in from the DPS and Skycer on this Ramatra. For the front line for Dire and Akua, they can't really do too much here. Akua is 5% towards his pulse bomb, however, as Dire jumps into the back line here. Neptune falling low, but still has that block to try and stay alive. The pulse bomb from way up top. Air support coming in from Akua over on the Tracer. Not going to do too much for him. And now the fight has really begun for the Froges and the Slouchers. Froges having to match this impressive attack from the Slouchers. Trying to come back again. Cupcake still locking in this Widowmaker, which I mean has some good picks here and there, but just HG Design's constant pressure with his Genji on the Chloe gives a slight tank advantage here for Fish. HG Design does dash in. Going exchange on DPS here. Dante Fanfan, HG Design both go down at basically the same exact time. Still, this Dynamite here over on towards Cupcake might spell defeat, as Sky is having a really good game in his scan so far. You know, Sky may be one of the more slept on players for the Slouchers, but making it really work for the squad when they need it most in the playoffs here. Potentially, you know, a legend in the making should things continue like this, as Slouchers will hold. And back over on towards the Quails and Foxians match. The Quails having a stalwart defense here. 1 minute 36 seconds for them to try to hold off and send us to a 2-0 scoreline over the Foxians. Not looking too good so far, as they have the Blitz. They're going to have the Annihilation. They're going to have the Genji Blade. Just as Portal was really ready to go for the Foxes for this engagement. But Speed Ring, Annihilation, Jack not long for the world. Overwatch did come down, but I mean, Cry takes himself out on Genji somehow. But the kills are still here for the Foxians and the Quails. Pulse Bomb not gonna land there from Akua. Blizzard on the point from Neptune. Will force out some spacing, but Akua has control of the cafe. Now both supports gone for the Quails. It could just turn here for the Foxians. Yes, that low will do just that. As the Foxians killing everything in sight on this point will take it home and sums up on towards point B. Now, back over on the Sajin and Frogas game. The Bob out from Sky. Point still holding on this corner. The Pulse Bomb not finding anything with Sky once again. Killing everything in sight. As the Slouchers continue this hold. And this map choice of Shambhala Monastery appearing to not be working out at all for the Frogas. You know, I know Nutter somewhere in Power Rankings chat. Guys, my team might actually still be the best team, though. So going down 2-0 might just disprove that theory, but you know, maybe the Chloe back on the Saint Junker Queen for the season could turn things around. HD Zion does get knifed, has deflect, the Shouten onto the Genji. Over to Raze are exchanged for both these teams. 7 still holding on to Casino Rush. Still 1-for-1 on the DPS. HD Zion 4% away towards this blade, but Chartron using this blade, or using the tree on point, blocks out the blade, blocks out the dash from HD Design. They're going to find Para, but that's all they're going to find here. The blade not doing anything with the tree sightline from Charvatron, blocking that one off. And, I mean, back on the other game, they didn't cap. They somehow got all these kills on support line, still couldn't do the full cap. The Foxians trying to make something happen here. Neptune alone on point with Hardchar and Akua. Fong Solo Sekana, Keen Team Alive, but Akua with the tracking, but doesn't matter. The reinforcements are here for the Quails. And it's just Hardchar and Dyer finds a nice punch. The TP in from War on the Kiriko. It's just Brigitte, they do not touch the point long enough. And they will eventually finally get a cap for the Foxians. Again, still in a great win position here. Cupcake using this blade for the Frogs against the Slouchers, and Dante Fanfan over onto the Sombra. A new look for them. 7 gets 1, but that's all they're going to get. As now, 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in the time bank for the Quail, or for the Frogas to push through on Shambhala Monastery. I'm noticing about these games, very similar flows, right? One team caps A, the other team caps A, one team full caps, one team gets held in defense, but it is, you know, about the same exact time, so really no break in the action for either of these games. They went in, of course, the same exact time for both these times, and we haven't got to use the focus screen very much. Looking back at Frogas and Slouchers, though, we do have Fish with Annihilation ready to pop. No ult for the Frogas, and now a very aggressive push from Fish. Use the Annihilation. Gets the little tendrils over on towards the Junker Queen, but the ult basically does nothing, just dissipates away almost instantly. Now Mythical Duck trying to run back to the team. A little bit of a pull there, a little bit of a ruse, but Mythical Duck is going to be the one to fall. Still, though, Dante Fanfan, 1 HP. Fish actually typing in chat while his team was dying on the cart. Gotta respect the grind. Onto the Quails and the Foxes. Getting Quails getting pushed back in their spawn. Fox is looking good. A minute left in the time bank. They're going to have Pulse Bomb and just the Orbit Array for the Foxes. Very doable. Cupcake 1 HP already back in the Frogas match. Very back and forth there. We do have Fish get pulled in by the knife from Mythical Duck, but Chartron close to this tree. Frosty down first. A good pick here, but the Bob will stave off the number disadvantage. Now still a 5-on-5 as Sky has control of this high ground. Over to Ray out from Para. Trying to keep the team alive through all this pressure, but in fact the kills are coming hot and heavy for the Slouchers. Still, back and forth affair, but the ultimate from Para being used there. Now what you want, the Foxes are going to take our second map, by the way, over on towards Hollywood. Dyer able to build up that Primal Rage just in time to sustain through the Orbit Array. And yeah, we got tied series over there for the Quails and the Foxians. And now, with that, we can actually go back to focus mode. Not for this game, but for this one. Dragon Blade out here from AST Design, going to be 1-for-1, but the tree once again to counter out this blade from Charvatron. And now the Rampage finding 2 members, and the Bleed might find 2 as well. Mythical Duck with a big Queen ultimate. And again, this counterplay of the tree for the Genji Blades worked out really well for the Frogas so far this match. Fish swaps off the Macho over onto the Risa to try to put more pressure on Mythical Duck in the front line on this Junker Queen. But the time bank advantage will probably be here for Slouchers no matter what. Still a minute 45 left for the Frogas to try to push and complete this map. Shambhala Monastery was an interesting map. You see a lot of teams get held on B, but not so much on C. So we could be going into overtime, extra innings here. On this one, Fish does get hacked up, but the Casinos out from 7 will keep the team nice and healthy through that fortify with Fish walking down Mythical Duck, having to use that shot, but gets pushed back in. The javelin spin from Fish, well played by the tank player from Svenus Slouchers, and Para shot out of the sky by Sky with a headshot. I mean, pun not intended there, shot out of the sky. Huh. Anyway, back over. I didn't want to say back over in this game, but we're still in map picks, so we're back in this one. We're sticking here. No ultimates for the Froggas, and 1 minute left in the time bank, walking into a Bob from Sky, and really, that's about it. So if you can survive through the Bob, it will just be a complete neutral game for both these teams. Dash out from HT Design, but there you go, the neutral game is all that Sky needs. Gets the kill over on towards Cupcake, shuts down the hit scan pressure, and a nice dynamite as well into the back line. Finding power, it's just Mythical Duck getting pushed around. I mean, she will get one, but the kills are still kind of here for both teams, but potentially not as close of a whole potential for the Slouchers as they probably would have wanted here. The cart might get a couple meters here, actually, as Cupcake forced him back with just pure aura alone, but Fish, close to Terra Surge, can hold his ground at this choke point. Not allowing to come through. A nice javelin, though, on the Cupcake, and the dash back into the team with Cupcake. An interesting play, and one that got easily punished. We have Terra Surge still. Both DPS for the Froggas taken down, and Terra Surge from Fish still ready to go. 10% or 10 seconds. All that separates. Then the jab mid-flight and is stuck in Apara's foot. But now, both supports for the Froggas taken down, and that will probably be the Slouchers taking a 2-0 advantage. AC Design blades in the spawn and get shut down. And the pull from Fish as well will finalize that one. So it is going to be a 2-0 advantage for the Slouchers in that game. Going on right now, the Froggas on the brink of elimination after such an undefeated, strong undefeated start in the season. Could all come crashing down for him. And the Quails okay, it appears that Neptune is restarting his internet for that game, so I guess we'll be waiting here for a little bit. How's your night going, chat? I see we got 23 viewers here. We do appreciate it. Froggy's reverse sweep. Keep telling that to yourself. That's what, one of us is a believer. The way the Slouchers are playing in this meta, and just continuous aggressive play, kind of calling out the aggression of the Froggas. It's looking good, to say the least. I guess maybe while we're waiting. Oh my God, there's a 5-hour Family Guy Funny Moments. All right, guys, we got 5 hours. Strap in. Who's gonna win this season? There's a lot of good options. Honestly, I'd say any of the top 5 has a good chance of winning any given day. My favorite would probably have to still be the Roosters. If Casey Dunn actually shows up. My prediction for the finals would probably... Oh, that's tough because you got to think about what the bracket is too. We're going to have the Roosters taking down, given they win, would be taking down either the Sea Dragons or the Apes, who would probably be favorites as well. It's definitely an open season. I don't think there's any real, set favorite going in. Anyway, guys, enjoying these funny moments. They're actually really funny, by the way. Got to refocus. Okay, it's a really cool basketball shot going off the scoreboard and in the net. Let's see what Peter does for his trick shot here. Looking for any form of action on this one. He's talking to him. I assume that white object on my phone screen is probably Larry Bird. And the cutaway was probably the time I played horse with Larry Bird. Yeah, boring out playoffs. I'd have to agree. Okay, just a girl walking into high school. There's probably some jokes set up there that we didn't quite get. I just noticed that it's very dark. in this room right now. I'm basically pitch black. I think it's because adjusting to the phone brightness of my webcam, so it's like darkening me out. Because if I put that away, I look normal again. But if I put it back here, yeah, look, I go complete pitch black mode. I enter the void, enter the shadow realm while watching Family Guy Funny Moments. Don't watch Family Guy Funny Moments in Ohio. Worst idea ever. Skull emoji, skull emoji, skull emoji. But still waiting for both games to actually start playing again. Servasa being the map choice of the Quantico Quails, and as for the Frogez, sending us over to King's Row, back to Scrim's Row. I know probably against Chloe's wishes. I know she kind of hates that map, and man, Peter's getting crazy up on the strip dance up there. Look at that, showing off his flexibility, of course, opening things up. Very inappropriate. Brian has some glasses in this one. That's probably some pretty funny moments. Why is Meg in the shower? These 5 hours feeling a lot longer than they probably should. Anyway, we have a gameplay to play. Oh, god damn it. Why do both games start exactly the same time? How do you guys end at different times but start at the same time with long map breaks in between? Making my life very stressful. But with Servasa being the pick of the Quails, trying to bring themselves to a match point to 1 Foxians with Akua. 1-0 the Akua, 0-1 without Akua. Thoughts? And with this one, if Fish plays Reinhardt, he's my hero. I mean, they're playing some like TP Bastion shenanigans. Of course, you are up 2-0. You're playing with house money here. Could be seeing some shenanigans come out from the Slouchers. Another very high confidence team, thinking they have a very strong shot of winning the whole thing. I know, reading their chats, and honestly, I can't be, I can't say no to that thought or assumption, especially with how they're playing today. Here comes out the shield from Fish, trying to put some working on the Reinhardt. TP up on the high ground, get the Bastion set. The Bastion dropped though, but it might have been a bait actually to get the Dark Queen into your team. Well, not going to find anything, but just having to run away. And now, Dark Queen completely isolated in the hotel, and that will be point A. The Bastion shenanigans are going to work for the Slouchers as Frog is sent packing. Now, on the Foxians and the Quails game right now, Dyer on the Dark Queen, taking some space over on towards his point. Neptune in the sky on the Pharah, trying to hold them back for now. I know we got some emoting going on from Fish on the other side. We don't mention that one. Skyster falling low in the Nemesis form, but War first to fall as Neptune pelts him full of bullets, full of rockets. Can't get the shot over on towards the Reaper though. Kind of struggling to hit that one. The point is in favor right now of the Foxians, but the health bars are not. As we have the Quails running back on in, we will probably get a quick flip right back over. Akua trying to show off his parkour skills and failing miserably. Unfortunate for you there, my friend. We caught that all on broadcast. Back over on the Frogez and the Slouchers game. Fish going a little too deep there as Mythical Duck on their Mantra walking into spawn here. With the Nemesis form, Nuttier having Casino Rush for any disengage should they need a Cupcake. Might get punished as Suzu is forced here. If only Fish had Shadow, it would have been massive coming out of spawn. Cupcake has the high noon. The Shatter lands on the multiple members. It's a big one from Fish. The Casino Rush as well from Nuttier. Just too late to keep the tank alive, or to keep Cupcake alive. But the quick punches here from Mythical Duck. Has Annihilation, continues to walk him on down. They use the Blizzard as well. A lot of ultimates being used by the Frogez. Can't imagine that was all on the cards. One Shatter for a Blizzard, Annihilation, and a Casino Rush. That's just simply Fish's aura. Back onto the other match for as of right now. A lot of ults ready to go for the Quails as they have control of the point. Getting close to that full cap. It will flip for the Foxes, but Neptune controlling the skies. Finding the picks on this Pharah. One will probably flip right back over. And, I mean, not a done deal just yet. Eventually Skyster returns. They have the ultimates here for the Quails should they need, but it looks like the Foxes might be conceding this one. Back onto the Frogges and the Slouchers game. AC Design with the wall, Frosty with the Orbit Array, but the Cart making some good progress here on to point B. Fish just charging on in, creating some space for his team. Cupcake slowly making his way back with the high noon, but the overrate from Frosty will be here to make it that final push very possible here on Kings Row. And if they cap now, they'd have a great time break, and I can say the classic catchphrase. I know we're all rooting for that one, but Cupcake opens things up with a kick on the sky, and with this beat from Charvatron, both support almost dumped for the Froggies on this point, trying to bring it home, but Fish still has the shatter, the pin, the 180, the turnaround. Do we see the slam down? Yes, we do! And despite both support ultimates from the Froggies, they cannot survive against the Slouchers. Just all-out aggression and damage. Speaking of all-out aggression, the Quails pushing the Foxians back on Palace and will claim first control. War does have the beat, but Akua in a tough position right now, just trying to get back and try to stay alive for the team. But the supports are finally returning with Jack. By the point with Skycer and the barrage from Neptune. It's going to be 1-for-1 and a big 4-man anti from Dyer with the Rampage. As the Foxians might clean this one up here. A huge hero play from the tank of the Foxians making it happen. And now, speaking of hero plays, Isuzu will get Fish over out of the Blizzard over on the Slouchers and Froggies match. Dante Fanfan used the block early, but gets out at just the same time. And now the charge in to the back line here by Fish. Force out a TP from Nuttier into an awkward position. Mythical Duck. Luza on that annihilation very quickly. Ace Design fully charged on this Metro. Walk him down in the spawn room close to another wall. And no ultimates for the Froggies in 3.5 minutes. This is where time banks go to die, ladies and gentlemen. This is Kings Row points we're talking about. But they still have 4 minutes ready to go, and they're looking good for a full cap. I say that right as Sky will fall down to Dante Fanfan, but they're exchanging out on for Charvatron here. The wall will split multiple members here. Dante Fanfan getting walked down by Fish, close to another shatter here. Could look to lay down the Cupcake, not going to get anything but the deflect, but a death from HT Design's beam. And probably one little last thing contested. They don't get the touch. And 3 minutes in the time bank for the Slouchers, looking in a really good spot to take this home in a sweep. Anyway, back on Foxians and the Quails. Quails do flip the point back over about 73% right now for the Foxians. They have hard charge visor, but they're walking into a Blizzard of Rue. A cool will get open and pick over on towards Neptune, though, so a good start for the Foxians. First, let's engage. Archer coming back in with that tactical visor. Will find Sakana out of the sky and take that Juno away. And now, at about 73%, you're probably thinking that's last fight territory now for the Foxians, as we might have, you know, a 1-1 Saravasa going forward. They might get one last touch, but Paradox and Skyster still have yet to respawn. 15% for him. It looks like the Foxes are going to be stuffing the spawn doors, trying to not allow the touches to come on through. Rue also forced to use the block very early here over on towards the fight. Skyster using that annihilation, trying to get back to the point. There's also someone contesting as well. It was going to be Neptune, very sneaky from around the back, and the Quails, in fact, bring that back for their side. And now at 2-0 on Saravasa, Foxins may biting off a little more than they can chew there. Should have played that point and just played for the brawl there. But looking over here, the Froggies are playing for their season lives right now. Down 3 minutes and 8 seconds on Kings Row on their map choice. And still, the Symmetra Bastion is the selection for the Slouchers. No respect for their opponent whatsoever. Ray to once again walk it down. You're getting a cool POV going. I mean, I'm doing my best here, prodding 2 games. I'm trying to give you guys different POVs. So you can watch Paradox for a while over on the Brigitte. Dante Fanfan forced to wraith away very early. Cupcake on the Tracer, puts the pressure back over on to this Reinhardt. To down your Symmetra, a lot of frontline damage now on the way for the Slouchers. The Froggies continue to move forward. Early Suzu as well from 7. We might see Fish go down, and yes we do. It is just Sky on the Bastion on the point. But does find both supports though. Melting them down. The TP up on the high ground here from Dante Fanfan. Trying to find 7. They will do just that. And the picks are here for the Froggies. And so is point A. And now the Foxes will take first control. Oh, back on Saravasa. Having used both support to do so, though, along with the blade. So a very costly fight from them. Rue having this Blizzard could basically seal the flip for the Quails when they decide to really engage with that once they kind of with the overrate as well. 2 fight-winning ultimates ready to go, ready to pop for the Quails here. Dyer does get isolated, but the Blizzard not locking anybody down. But the damage just simply too much for Dyer to sustain through with Jack's healing. And that will be the point flipping over here once again for the Quails very shortly. as the kills for the Savine Soldiers in the spawn are coming hot and heavy. Frogez, no real answers. Nuttier has the Coalescence ready to go, but Mythical Duck Annihilation as well. The ultimates are still really close here for the Slouchers. Sky swapping off that Bastion last fight already on the Cassidy, 65% and counting on that High Noon, looking very good. Akua does find Neptune over on this Phoenix Slouchers game. Quails has the advantage on the point, still 35% to 75. With the tactical visor ready to go. Back over the Slouchers of Frogez. Annihilation and Earth Shatter is going to be used from the tanks here. Both tank ultimates finding value, but that will be the Slouchers once again holding strong in this choke with the High Noon from Sky, forcing them further back. Cupcake on the Bastion, probably not long for the world, and neither is Nuttier after getting hit with a magnetic grenade. Fish does go into spawn a little too deep here. Does get taken down. So maybe doable. But now, back over onto the Foxians game. We're going to have the Quails looking at 8% away from a map victory here and stands up at match point. 99% hard chart with a tactical visor. Out of spawn, but Warg is just smacked back with the mace. Wish that was me, but I digress. That will be the Quails taking the third map of the series. Set themselves up 2-1 once Dire is taken care of. Speaking of dire situations, we are going to look back at the Frogez here on Kings Row. Just getting walked back in their spawn. They get a little bit of progress through that choke, but Sky hitting the shots on this Cassidy, and Fish on the aggression, walking him down in the spawn. Just eating some damage for his supports to get some healing here. Obviously a calculated play from the Reinhardt, as expected from Fish, big brain gamer. Chartron will have the beat here for us next engagement, and now, of course, I forgot we can go into the focus mode. Look at that, focus mode. Mythical Duck went down once again. Down this tank is just so hard to try to break this choke point when Fish gets set up with his Sim TP, but it doesn't help when Fish walks in spawn and stays a little too long. So down that tank once again. Mythical Duck did spawn earlier. You're gonna have the beat. You're gonna have the annihilation. This is the fight you have to win if you're the Frogez. To try to keep this map, and I mean not even just this map, but your season alive. Coalescence from Nuttier popped maybe a bit prematurely, and there's nobody really to stave off or even heal through that. 7 recontests here with the Kasuna Rush ready to go. AC Design building up that beam charge very efficiently on the shield of Mythical Duck. But Mythical Duck with Annihilation walking further in. It does expire very quickly. A lot of ults being exchanged from a Cupcake was the first to fall. Chartron can't lay the beat out in time, will fall. And now the kills are here with Sky on the flank, finding multiple. The TP in from Frosty. The Suzu! A little bit of disrespect to staying still. The AFK strategy from 7. It's, Frogez desperation swaps here. 2 minutes left on time. Of course, that means you probably get one more ult fight. And 7 is just taking on the whole squad up there, it seems. But no fear from the Kiriko. Has the TP back to the team if they need. And yeah, I guess just out of there scot-free. Force out a lot of cooldowns as well from the Frogez. So still a good look. The Shatter, the 180 on the Doomfist does nothing with the beat. There for a sustain. Neither does the flank High Noon. The barrier health was just simply too much from Charbatron. But AC Design, not to be outdone, walks into a junk trap of all things to get final blowed. And now the Frogez appears to be capping over on towards point B. And now they will have a worse time bank by default. Already down to 2.5 minutes here for Kings Row point C. Not a big enough time bank for the catchphrase, chat. Can't say it. Frosty has the open array though. Only online for the Slouchers. Support almost close. Condunta Fan find value with this tire will probably be the deciding factor. Here comes out the tire for the Frogez. It gets stuck. Looking for the TP away from AST. Putting in the absolute moves. Just broken ankles from AST Design. Looking like Lionel Messi out there. Potentially even Kevin Durant. Whatever international superstar he decides to cosplay as that day. But killed shortly after. So, you know, say his praises and dies instantly. Now, Mythical Duck going in the back line here with the power punch. Cupcake finding 2. Still with the overrate online for Frosty. The Slaughterers are still very healthy on this point. Mythical Duck with another power punch, trying to find the kill over on the support line here. The slam back on in. Cupcake with the follow through. The punches are here, and now Mythical Duck online on the Doomfist. 1 minute, 20 seconds for this final capture. Fish getting staggered out here. Not good for the Slaughterers. Is looking very doable here now for the Froggies to cap with time. We give a disappointing touch from Sky on the Tracer. But yeah, the hack. The Frosty is somehow just surviving through all the 7-7, putting in the work to try to keep the Juno alive as long as physically possible. But it will eventually wear out here. You only have so many cooldowns to survive through it. Charge on will Ajax, so a moral victory here for the Slaughterers. But a nice big shatter though comes in, and now the TP Suzu. Hold on, very doable here now. The Slaughterers, the Ajax might have been huge. Actually, might have been match winning, might have been the season ending. Charmatron, the MVP multiple times, making the play that might just end her team's season. 30 seconds. That basically just means time bank only here in overtime. That is very unfortunate here. Fish onto the Roadhog. But Nutter down first. Cupcake the ultimate on the field with the pulse bomb ready to go, but hooking onto the Doofus. Gets stuck. This stick is going to find Charmatron. Both supports are down for the Frog. And now the turrets and lost the hook. Just too many things for Cupcake to try and dodge. Now it's just Mythical Duck trying to survive as long as possibly can, but it's not going to be long enough as overtime wick will dwindle away. And a 3-0 series win for the Slaughterers against the Froggies. Looking very strong. Where's the freaking score? It's on this screen. But now, yeah, I didn't do the season 1 for the Martian Monsters. Oh, the Ajax to end the season. There we go. Anyway, now I can join this game. And we could actually have audio for it. I just quit Overwatch. Very unfortunate. So now let's go ahead. I heard that y'all like some Akua POV while I get set up and get back into Overwatch. We do have a close hold coming out here from the Quails as well, and appearing to be working fairly effectively. At least draining a decent amount of time off the bank. Already a minute gone for the Foxians. Where is Plimbo Schlimbo? Whoops. There we go. We are now officially in this game. Hello? Okay, there we go. The Foxians with the high noon might eventually break out of the spawn hole, but Jack whipping out the Glock, getting the kill Dyer, knocking Skycer off the map with a javelin. Pretty good look here for Foxians, but down a minute and a half already in your time bank. Never something you want to see when you're at match point for this season. Of course, down 2-1. Go ahead and shut the laptop down real quick and really get locked into our current game. Yeah, Plimbo Schlimbo just left the game. He's out of here, chat. He's done. The tire from Akua up on the high ground doesn't do anything but a nicely timed block from Neptune, as well as a drop down on the Blizzard. Jack trying to get the res off, but the Quails smart to that one, forcing the Mercy away. The Moth will not get the res in time. And now the high ground control on top of Big Earls, looking very strong for the Quails. Foxians just Dyer has a pretty nice terror search opportunity here. Maybe waiting for it. Oh, they waited one more second. That block would have evaporated away. A lost for almost being visited from the Quails, trying to keep them alive. Will look to be doing just that, it appears. Oh, they got the res on the war, but probably not long for the war. Let's got a TP online. They did not, so just a free 200 HP alt charge there. Gifted by Jack to the Quails. Okay, I'll swap onto the Juno here for the Foxians from Jack. No longer wanting to play that Mercy. And Skycer down very early in the fight. I mean, they do exchange on the Genji from Akua, but you'll definitely take this considering that was the one ultimate you had in the field. Hiding from HP Sec, try to take the Juno out of the sky. Wouldn't kill it with the high noon, but will with the revolver. And point A will go the way of the Foxtreel Foxians. So there we go. Alright. And now with the, we'll have the beard back for finals. Probably not. I was hoping I'd get the mustache back, but my parents told me no. So let's go ahead and let's just make a really ghetto scoreboard. There we go. We got Foxy Boys. There we go. There's your frickin' score. And now, the chokehold can once again begin for the Quails. They're gonna have High Noon. They're gonna have Annihilation. They're gonna have Blizzard. Very tough to break through these ultimates through the defense. I mean, you're close to Jack having an Orbit Array, but look at this rotation here out from the Quails as well, using the speed ring to go through the door. Not exactly sure what they're hoping to accomplish. They do flip the map, but the high ground is now in control of the attackers. I mean, maybe it works out. It doesn't look like it does at all. Okay, they're gonna come out and they're gonna invest in Annihilation here. They'll try to bring it back, but it will evaporate almost instantaneously. There comes the Blizzard as well out from Neptune, but HP Sec over on the side here on this flank, pulling some damage onto Skycer. Kissing Rush out from War to push through this final points of the choke. Skycer's running away, trying to get back to the help. Over to Ray out from Psychana, but look at the Q dump being made right now, and the Qs are coming out in favor of the Foxians. As, I don't understand what the point of that rotate was. I could be wrong. I could be a low SR player, just simply not understanding the vision. But from my perspective, that didn't work out at all. I mean, the rotation. You say the rotation was worth it, but it would have been you used Orbit Array, Blizzard, and Annihilation, and you lost. Because now Jack has his own Orbit Array for this. High Different Cry doesn't find anything. And Akua going deep in the background here with the Orbit Array. Skycer down, isolated with the May Wall. But Dire flying very low here. Paradox re-engages with this rally. Trying to stave off, but dies in the process. Cry 1 HP as well. They're going to get Dire for the trouble, but that might just be it. As yeah, with Neptune down, your staying power on the point totally gone. Well, yeah, I'm saying they did get four ultimates out, but you didn't get Orbit Array out. You used Blizzard, Annihilation, and your Orbit Array to try to survive 3 point. If you didn't use ultimates, easily worth it. But the fact you used your ultimates too makes it not, because they capped with relative ease afterwards with their Orbit Array. That's all I'm saying. Hold on to one of those ultimates and you win, but you used all three. Neptune flying low, but Cry first of all, Akua's in the back line, close to our blade here already, 96%. Hiding out from HP like finding the support line, and the kills are here for Foxians as they continue to push on forward. And we're gonna have some almost for both teams coming up here, but you gotta probably favor the Blizzard and Annihilation combo once again with the Override from Psychana. So the Quails, if they don't use all three again this time, probably in a pretty good spot. Guys are trying to push forward, but gets just pelted on back. Order ready to reclaim this space over onto our semi-truck, but just going to survive through all this. Blizzard does Suzu, but it's just Dire gets isolated, so the pick is here. And so are the kills. The Foxians sent back to spawn. The Quails looking strong. 1 minute left in the time bank, but no ultimates that fight there from the Foxians. The Quails investing fairly heavily with the Blizzard, with the Order Ray, but you had Annihilation still to hold this choke, hold this corner, looking fairly good. If Skycer can just stay alive, we've seen the Annihilations cannot last too long for Skycer. Casino Rush out from War, but the kills are here. A good coordinated play to stave off. They're going to use the Orbital Ray here, actually, from Jack to try to live through this Annihilation, but it doesn't look too good. As Skycer's getting pelted full of healing, the Paradox using the Rally in the spawn. I mean, you get Rally out, but you use a lot. The Fox is technically that's right. Tour it's not too terrible, but that's probably gonna be all you're gonna get for cart progress if you are the Foxians. Unless I can dispersion swap here over on the Doomfist. I mean, if the cart has gone back far enough. So we might get a touch, maybe. Yes, we do get one. And now the blade from Akua died almost instantly, but stays alive. Forced out to block from Neptune, but the big blizzard coming out. Ding out Ajax. Cry trying to fall up here with this blade. We'll find one frozen target over on the Cassidy. And now the kills are here for the Quails and so are the spawns. Neptune close. Dire fighting one with the punch. This is Paradox. And now the Juno is still there, pumping the team full of heals. Akua has a deflect on the point, but I mean, it gets one. But yeah, you can only survive so long. And the Quails, now a win condition for their attack round to take the series 3-1 and advance in the bracket to take on the Slaughters. I think that's a confirmed kind of like the lower side of our bracket, the 2 and 3 side of the bracket. If the Quails win here, they will go on to face the Slaughters. So it's both these teams have a very stout opponent waiting for them on the other side of this match, no matter how it goes. We don't know about the other side of the bracket, though. The 1 versus 7 seed, the Roosters and Bobcats and Apes and the Sea Dragons still have yet to even schedule their games. Kind of dropping the ball on that one. Chat, did you win? No, you didn't. Unfortunately, you didn't win a map. Nuttier, I'm gonna talk to you after class. Your severe amounts of hopium I found in your backpack. Yeah, I'm gonna call your parents on that one. Yeah, this is our meta, guys. Yeah, Chloe got buffed. Yeah, Nog's not good anymore. Yeah, we're good, guys. Just believe me, we're gonna win. Overdose. Nadir found dead in his apartment. They didn't live in an apartment. They live in a house. How do I know? I had to move their shit in there for him. I had to lift those mattresses down those stairs. Close 3-0. Yeah, put that in power rankings and rank the frog gets like 4th just like next week. Yeah, a close 3-0 loss in the playoffs. Love to see it. Foxians are trying to again here force the map 5. Shot loss most unfortunate end to a map night. You know what? What more could you possibly want? That has way more value than the finals trophy we have here, named after some loser. But we won't talk about that one just yet. Skyster falling further critical as Dire continues to hold the billboard, contain the space for his team. Paradox just throwing as many packs as they possibly can into Skyster's big behind, but Dire is getting pelted full of Juno pelts from Jack on the high ground. Teams taking multiple flank angles here. Neptune gonna get isolated, force out that fortify. A lot of ults here from both teams building up very quickly, but Dire falling very low on point, but getting healed up. A nice wall will isolate the Risa just enough to take him out with the Genji Gaunts. 1-point exchange, but you easily take the Risa. But HP Sec fighting both DPS here. HP Sec on that Torbjorn. Lindholm is holding his high ground. He cannot be dissuaded. The immovable object, the short man. It's all he needs is a gun and a crowbar, and he's got this fight victory pulled through. Very prestigious. Okay, good pick there from Akua on the Widowmaker. Not something you really see Akua pull out very often. You know, known more for that flex DPS role, but has shown the ability to, you know, be that kind of hyper flex player. Popping those sights here. We also have the desperation swaps from the Quails over onto the Pharah to try to force back this Torbjorn. But I mean, HP Sec has been known to play Torbjorn a couple times here and there. You can hear the voice line. Just trying to let the team know where he is. The orbital rays come out for both teams as well. As a terror surge from Dire, but Dire is in fact the one to fall first here. The Quails getting much more value out of their orbital ray, sustaining through the damage of the aggression, and now they're probably going to get one more touch though. If you are the Foxians, they're going to have Molten Core as well as Rally. Paradox will be able to match that, but if you can come here, get that touch on the point, forced out these ultimates and potentially win the fight as well, you're in a great position to potentially take home this map and send us to map 5. But right now, rallies are exchanged for both teams here. Skycer holding on to this annihilation. The Molten Core on the cart from HVSec, but War getting walked down the backline by Skycer. Still exchanged out for the Torbjorn. Saikana falling. Cry has this blade. Do they need to pop it? Very back and forth fight. Decide now is the time to use the blade. Gets Jack midair with a slice. Dire can't get the Mega in time. HVSec back to the same spot where he was when the fight first started. HVSec finds a kill from under the cart. Tickles his toes. But that won't be enough as Skycer stabilizes the point with that Nemesis form and will push forward. Now, 3 minutes in the time bank here for the Quails on towards point C of Route 66. High ground control for the Foxians. They're going to exchange on to the DPS here 1 for 1. But the Widowmaker down. A lot of control of the map taken away. Skycer in a really tough position way behind Enemy Lions, but Paradox comes in for the healing. Keeping Pookie alive. Doing a good job of doing so. Cool swaps on the Tracer off the Widowmaker. I'm surprised HVSec didn't swap earlier as well, knowing that the Pharah is here from Neptune to try to counter out this Torbjorn. Now, a cool forced recall early here as well. Neptune marking that flank with the Pharah very well. Having this barrage ready to pop in. Uses it right down Main Street. Dire falling low but staying alive. Having the Terror Surge for an extra bit of HP. Cry 1 HP but stays alive through the deflect. Well played here by the Cardinal Quails so far. Dire's the only one to fall here. Saikana 1 HP and now Skycer as well. Over to right out from Jack to seal the deal, it appears. Neptune trying to do something here in the sky. Paradox 1 HP on the Mega. Can't quite get it. And now Neptune on the Pharah. Takes himself out of the fray. Says you're not getting the all charge off my behind. A good over to Ray out there from Jack to stabilize the team through that one. It will be able to build the next one. But Saikana and Paradox close to their own support ultimates. Neptune's back on the Tracer now. Or back on the Torbjorn. Maybe trying to mark the Tracer a little more than potentially the Fire. Skycer flying low, but here comes the Molten Core on the high ground from HVSec. Claims that high ground for his team, and now Yukon down as Akua hunts down the Torbjorn and shuts down that quote-unquote counter. Rally here from Paradox. They've already lost Saikana. Just trying to keep Cry alive. A recall out from Akua. The read from Cry. The 180 flick on the head. Looking good. Skycer falling low, however, in the annihilation. Cry 1 HP. The Skycer will fall out of the annihilation. Had this form ready to go. However, still a very staggered fight on the point, but the reinforcements are here. The Torbjorn turret is still online for HVSec. Controlling the sightlines. Yukon having to use the overload fairly early here. Dire going even deeper. I'm not sure if that call was the Juno from Jack. Can't keep the Orisa alive through all that pressure. War returning to the fight. Has the rally. Should decide to pop it here. Look, they might be opting to hold that one for now with Jack going down. Can't build last 10% of the orbit array. Gonna be exchanged over onto the Junos. However, a cool with Pulse Bomb. Lurking and praying here. Trying to find something potentially a heroic miracle stick. War with the rally and the Pulse Bomb both gonna whiff. 20 seconds in the time bank now as Dire is on the point. Yukon 1 HP. The 1v1 from Akua going to win that one out. Cry 1 HP, but Skycer and Saikana light up the final 2 members of the Foxians, and now a minute and a half for them to take this home and take home the series and advance to take on Sweden Slouchers. Foxians hoping and praying for this last little push here to be enough. Akua swapping off the Tracer onto the Cassidy. Find the advantage in the hero swap at Yukon. Neptune with the Molten Core. It's going to be a very close map either way. If the Foxen can just get a fight here, get some ultimates out. Get engaged here with the Overwatch array to push them back. Cry with the high noon. Finds Akua, but Dire with a 3K Terror Surge in the back with the Overwatch array. Make it 4 for the Orisa player. And now, just the rally coming up here. Just the Molten Core. 1 ult apiece. Cry swaps over on towards the Genji. Neptune onto the Mei. Huge wholesale team count swaps here for the Quails. Trying to bring it home. Trying to get that second seed. Favoritism over the Slouchers in the next round. War taking a good amount of damage. Forced retreat for now. Akua as well over on the Ash. Molten Core out from HVSec. They're all split here. Paradox using the rally just to stay alive now. The Foxens have potential to probably just cut his ultimate out. Dire falling low. The first pick here could be the map. Cry up on the high ground to cool down the read. The deflecting. Crowley fighting both TPS. A miracle play from the Genji. From the Quails. Overwatch from Zakana might just steal a deal. As well as Skycer holding on to the Annihilation. And the Foxians are watching their chances of survival dwindle away to nothing. As the Quails take this home 3-1. And they will face off against the Slaughters next time. GG's, everybody. Well played for all 4 of our teams that played here tonight on the BOON1ESPN Quarterfinals Classic. Now, with that being said, we don't have any of our other playoff matches scheduled just yet. Default time is this Saturday. I think the Bobcats are leaning towards a Thursday match to go off against the Ramshackle Roosters. As for the Sea Dragons, it doesn't look like they have anyone just yet in terms of, like, here are some feelies out. But, yeah, once we get that information, we will, of course, get that to you guys. If you have not already, of course, you can leave a follow here on the stream. It won't always just be me. It won't always just be my ugly mug here in the corner. Solo casting the games. We will actually have actual production, hopefully, for the playoffs going forward. Join the Discord as well, link below on the Twitch page. You can join that up and get all of the updates you need for Aurora Esports playoff action. Season 6 playoffs are just beginning here, folks. And as we saw there, the Fox is giving a great fight against the Quails. Fraga is definitely logged into Overwatch today. A little bit of a toxic play from the caster there, but I'm already eliminated, so I don't gotta fear anything. Yeah, I got none. I'm just happy at this point. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you had fun. Hopefully we were able to get you the action you needed and an easily digestible format. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great rest of your evening.